Hello, hello. Are you getting me? All of you, please say hello.
Hi Arun,
Yeah, hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hi Arun, good evening.
Very good evening. कैसे हैं आप? So wait for 5 minutes. I think some people are waiting to join. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. So hello. Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. If I talk about my introduction part, so right now I'm working as a software engineer in Micro Excel in Hyderabad, and I'm Microsoft satisfied and IBM's also. So today, first of all, we will discuss about some basics things, sketch parts, because I think in this session, in morning session also, There are lots of people I'm pursuing for college and all freshers as well as experience holder. But in my opinion, if you want to get something in detailed manners, so that time you need to understand the basic things first. So that's why we are going to start from the beginning. So in IT industry, if you are looking, we are looking for the change and something like that. You want to, and we want to get some new things. So that time need to understand the basic things. So in IT industry, suppose we have a business like a banking domain. So how to understand the DFT, ERD and dimension modeling, and what is the uses of these models. So suppose if we have a business like a banking domain and people don't have any knowledge, IT background, any data knowledge, but the people want to understand the things, to understand the business domain. So how they people can understand in easy way. So in IT industry there are lots of things need to understand. So let's see two things here: how and what. So what, how and what? Look at this. So in IT industry, any business domain, and you want to get something information in easy way. So how to get into that? So you need to understand how and what. This is the English terminology, but very important to understand the process and data. So why we are talking about process and data? There are two main components here. Suppose one bank ICICI, and you want to transfer the amount, some amount, one bank to another account, but you want to understand the process, what the process are going behind the screen. So the process can be understand in easy way, but how? This is the question. So let's see. So in that case, you need to understand about DFT. Any process, any business process, if you want to get into that, so that time DFT will help you out. Data flow diagram, isn't it? So process always maintained by front-end developer in IT industry, means Java, C++, whatever, because every domain is developed by other languages. If you are talking about front-end domain, back-end domain, something like that, so that time we have some languages. But to understand the process of that in easy way, you need have some flow diagram. So process can be understand with the help of DFT, and it is maintained by front-end developer. But right now we have here to understand the data. It's not the important part for me and you to understand about the process, because process is related to front-end developer. But main thing is that to understand the things of data. So if we want to the data and to understand the data, so data is understood by the ERD, entity relationship diagram. So what do you mean by entity relationship diagram? Entity means object, you can say that in easy way, but in terminology of database, entity means table. Very simple. Suppose employee is an entity, but relation means what? Suppose employee and department, there are two tables. So what their relation have, how to understand? So that time you need ERD. So if you have knowledge and you want to get the data, understand the data, you can understand with the help of ERD. But some people don't have an idea about to, but they can understand by what and how with the help of ERD. So that's why ERD, DFD, and dimension modeling is very important. So backend and front end is a very important part in IT industry. But what is the meaning of dimension modeling? So dimension modeling is related to your data warehouse. So we'll talk about later on. So this is very important, data modeling also. But DFD and ERD is related to backend and front end. So in this way, you need to understand DFD. You need two languages like C, C++, Java, PHP. And if you want to understand RDBMS tools, means data, because RDBMS is a software. It's a database software. Relational database management system is a software. Because suppose you want to work in Excel, so that time you need to some software. What kind of software? Microsoft Office. So same way, if you want to get data, if you want to store data, if you want to understand data, storing data, processing data, so that time you need some languages, some software. So that time we have RDBMS tools or software. So there are lots of RDBMS tool here. See, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, MySQL, etc. So according to requirement and purpose of the company and users, they can use. So there are two things, main thing to understand the basic thing of data and process in the company, and in this way, in this scenario, every day is going to work. Next part is related to BI application architecture. It's a very important to understand because we have the option to understand the database. So there are different kinds of databases to understand because companies have lots of data, but the requirements always different. So according to requirement, they need different kinds of databases. Let's see, like a phrase data, live data. So if you have live data, so that time you have some different database. If you have a historical data, old data, that time you have some different databases. So this is BI architecture. Look at this. Suppose you have a OLTP database, because why I am telling this OLTP means online, live data, Amazon, Flipkart, or all data. It's a transactional data, operational data, business data. You can say anything. Daily wise data, fresh data. But size of OLTP always in GB. You need to remember this point. So end of time, end of the month, end of the day, it may be full because your OLTP size will be in GB. But right now, what the business purpose, you can understand if you think about the Amazon data. So millions of data, billions of data is coming every day. So how they can store? They can store with the help of OLTP. But OLTP size always in GB. So that time you need some different database to store some OLTP databases after 45 days. In company, in general way, you can understand in working environment after 45 days, OLTP data extracted and to store somewhere. Because I told you in OLTP data size in GB. So that's why. So in companies there are different databases. I told you like Oracle, like SAP, they are different. So suppose your company, in your company, your data is coming out from the Singapore with the help of SAP. SAP is being used. So it may be different, like .NET, like Java. But end of time, what guideline, what timeline is there inside your company? So after that, you need to extract those data. So that time you need to extract data with the help of some tool. What kind of tool? There are different kinds of tools according to your choice, according to your purpose, what company use. So in this way, so next point, next database is coming out here, staging database. So staging is a temporary location because we are getting the data from the different location, because company has different databases like SAP, .NET, Java, sorry, Oracle, different. But data, end of time, you need to extract data from the different location and dump into somewhere. But the problem is that data may not or may in good format, structure format. So that time you need to change something. So how they can change? It can be changed by some transformation, but you cannot do transformation directly from the OLTP database. So that's why we need a staging database, temporary database. You need to create that. Look at this. So here data cleansing, it's a terminology is used, data cleansing, temp space. And after that, during this process, there are different things is used as a transformation. After that, cleansing data means you got fresh data, after that extracted and dumped into the staging to and transformation. After that, loading those data into warehouse. So that time, once again, you need to use SSIS. So this is your warehouse. So warehouse means centralized database and historical. And warehouse is always used for a read only purpose. You cannot write in data warehouse. You need to remember this point. So this is the whole scenario if you are working with MSBI, yeah, OLTP. So here we need to understand who will be maintained by OLTP. So you need to remember this point very clear. OLTP is maintained by SQL developer. SQL developer always use OLTP. If you are using MSBI, there is different thing. I will tell you. But OLTP is maintained, and everything inside the OLTP, whatever, is done by some people have knowledge of SQL development. We'll tell you the all things, what the things exactly in OLTP. But OLTP, the simple way you can understand and memorize, OLTP maintained by SQL development. But other two databases, other three databases like data warehouse, like OLAP and HTAP. So one terminology here, HTAP means what? HTAP means online transaction plus analytical database. Like you can say that is a huge database, huge amount of database. So data warehouse always store in not in GB, TB, terabyte. So if you have data in terabyte, that time you need to have some warehouse. So if anybody asks you, is your external hard disk is a warehouse? Yes or no? This is my question. If anybody asks you, your external data warehouse is a, sorry, if you got external hard disk, so is it possible you can say that it is a data warehouse? Yes or no? Please give me. Why we can say that it is yes, or why we cannot say no? Can you give me some points here? Okay. So data warehouse, external hard disk is never a warehouse. You need to remember this point. Sorry. So I told you in DB, you need to have some data warehouse, but in GB, OLTP, REST it. After that warehouse, you need to create some OLAP. Why we are going to create a OLAP? What is the purpose? So from the data warehouse, you got the data as a structured format. After that, you are going to create a OLAP, means queue. OLAP means queue. There are different kinds of queue you are going to create. What is the purpose of queue? I will tell you. Suppose your company, your boss, your manager tell you, yeah, I need to report within 5 or 10 minutes. So is it possible to extract data from OLTP data warehouse and create some reports in within 5 and 10 minutes? Is it possible? No. Because so that's why, because data may or may not in good format, proper format. So that's why we have option to create a queue. So queue is nothing just like a pre-aggregated aggregation of data. You created a queue. There are different kinds of queue. If you have a knowledge about idea about the MSBI, so there are different kinds of queue. So according to your requirements, you need to create some queues like pivoting queue, slicing, dicing, and all. So you can analyze data directly from the queue in vast manners, an easy way and fastly. But if anybody asks you, is it possible to extract data directly and creating some reports from OLTP or data warehouse? So answer should be yes, but one condition is here. If you need some 1000 data, 2000 data minimum, so you can, but more than 4 5000, 10,000, your Power BI, your BI tool may be slow. So that time you need to have some options, cube options. So cube is a pre-aggregated, means you have a aggregated data dump and store, and during your requirement you are using. That's it, nothing. So this is the whole scenario of BI application architecture and OLTP. So I told you OLTP is maintained by database developer, but who will maintain your warehouse and OLAP? So is it possible by Power BI or Tableau? No. Is it possible only by MSBI developer? So that's why there are two types of BI here. One is traditional, other one is your self-service. So in traditional, some prerequisites are required. What? You need to have good knowledge, technical knowledge, good knowledge about SQL, and some expression are used. But it's self-service, just like click and drag and drop. That's it. So that's why people love to use Power BI and Tableau and click view, click sense, whatever. So all these are related to your self-service. So we'll tell you about in detailed manners about the Power BI the next sessions. First need to understand the basics things related to your BI architecture, MSBI you can say that, and SQL Server, and after that move to Power BI in single manners. Don't worry. So this is the whole scenario. So only MSBI developer can design your database. Suppose you have options to design a banking domain database. So with the help of OLTP, means OLTP you are going to create. So that time database developer is using this. Suppose you are creating a data warehouse, OLAP, queue, all done by MSBI developer, not by others. So this is the main difference. Power BI. So Power BI, the self-service BI tool always have functionality like creating reports. That's it. Nothing special. Visualization, dashboard, because visuals can be understandable in easy way. Suppose one you have one visuals and you can see, and after that you can make a decision. Company make decisions what need to do, what need to make a future plan. So that time you need to visualization, but you don't have options to create a database warehouse with the help of Power BI. So that's why MSBI is more important than Power BI. And MSBI developer always gets more salary, but need have some good knowledge about SQL as well as your MSBI in this way. So with the help of Q, you can create a direct reporting, multi-dimensional analysis in this way. So that's why I told you Q is very important for you. So just suppose you are a BI developer, Power BI Tableau developer, just go to SAS, SQL Server Analytics Services, and get the data and creating reports. That's it. You don't have knowledge. Suppose you are not working like a MSBI developer, you cannot create a database. Just you are creating a reports. So by the help of this diagram, you can understand whole scenario, whole BI and OLTP and all databases. What in real time scenario is being used this time. You can understand. We can understand with the help of this diagram in this manner. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm waiting for you. Please. Please go through. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm waiting. Please. No doubts? Okay, fine. So next point is I understood about architecture. What is database? Why we need database? So database is a container, and some terminologies use data mart. So what is data mart? Data mart is a subset with small data, small database. You can say that. So it's all related to data marts is related to your MSBI. But database is important for OLTP and all. So database is a container. We can store any amount of data, but it's depend upon up to your size of RAM, because memory based. SQL Server is used memory based. And I told you the types of databases and what is DBMS. So DBMS is a old database software. So what is difference between DBMS and RDBMS? So DBMS is an old database software. But the main thing is that to understand here, what do we have option to maintain data with the help of DBMS? So DBMS is always used as a file system, but RDBMS is used as a like a structure, like a row and column. But if you talk about the architecture, so architecture means centralized database and distributed database. So in case of DBMS, your database used as a centralized. Centralized means what? Suppose if you are working in a company, so a company has some database, a server, so it's only centralized server. Suppose you have a 4 or 5 clients from Delhi, Noida, other place, but the main thing is that all data is coming inside your centralized data. So suppose your every time same client is hitting the same server, so it may be bottleneck problem. So that's why DBMS software is rejected and RDBMS is placed, because in RDBMS we use like a distributed architecture. One centralized and other is distributed to other location. Suppose we have a client in Delhi, so Delhi client always have a Delhi server. So if Delhi client needs some data to get from the Delhi, so always hit to Delhi server, not to centralize. So this is the whole scenario right now we are using as a distributed server. That's it. So that's why RDBMS is a main database server, and RDBMS is a software, you can say that. So software means to supporting something. I told you if you want to get something data from the Excel, so that time you need to have some Microsoft Office. But if you want to get data from SQL Server, any databases, so that time you need to have some database language like a DB, like a SQL Server, like a DB2, like Oracle. All these are RDBMS software. See types of databases, what is the purpose and what is the platform. So BI tools is used. And next point is SQL Server. So SQL Server is a RDBMS software, you can say that. DBMS software, and it is used to maintain and storing data, any amount of any size of data in this way. So if you want to store some data, so first you need what? Server. Look at this green box. So you need some green box SQL Server first. After that you will get database. After that your tables and all file system will discuss. So in this scenario architecture, your server, your database is going to use. First need server, then database. Why SQL Server? If you want to get license version in SQL Server, so that time you need to use some uh, 14,500 USD dollar. 14,500 USD dollar you have to pay. But in case of Oracle, you need to pay some more than 3 times. Free support in Microsoft SQL Server, and main thing is that main point is here. If you get license version in SQL Server, so BI tool will be free. You don't need to pay BI tool prices of BI tool. But in Oracle, in other RDBMS software, you need to pay for extra in this way. And there are different kinds of version. So right now, according to your requirements, company requirements, because every versions have a different features according to per users, per size, what kind of size you need. So according to that you will have to use editions of servers. So there are different kinds of server editions. So you can use developer edition or enterprise edition. There are two things. So enterprise always used in a real time scenario. Suppose you have a development and a complex database, so that time you need to have some enterprise edition, and other one is developer edition. Other just like web edition is just used for web development. Data center evolution means free of cost. You don't need to pay some amount. But if you want to use it as a licensed version, as a developer edition, you can use, because Microsoft is providing for 6 months free, 180 days. You can use it. But you can understand here, enterprise edition and developer edition is very important in real time scenario. And if you are going to use SQL Server any version, so 2019 or 17 is it. Why we are telling this? Because if you are going to use 1917, then in case of MSBI it's a very user friendly, and before that you need to check some prerequisites of your system. Windows 10 should have, that's why you can use it in easy way, 2017 or 19. 4 GB RAM minimum requirements, otherwise you have some issues. So this is the thing, before you are going to learn SQL in good knowledge, so you need to have some good idea about this thing. What is the instances and all, we'll talk about later on. So what is SQL? So I told you, language. SQL is nothing, it's a common language. SQL is a common language, structure query language, just like English language. Because we are going to communicate with database, because database contain data. But I want to data that data. How to get data? So that time needs some languages. So SQL is a common language and developed by IBM. It's developed by IBM company first. Please mute your mic, please. So what is difference between SQL and T-SQL? Yeah, I told you SQL is a common language, but after that SQL common language means what? Means SQL is used with Oracle, SQL is used by MySQL, all database software. Sorry. So SQL is a common language and it is used with all database software like MySQL, like Oracle, all. But after some times, some companies like SQL, like Oracle Incorporation and IBM thought that we have some separate own database languages. So that's why Microsoft developed later on TSQL, Transact SQL, in this way. Okay, so if you want to communicate with SQL Server in database, that time you need to use Transact SQL in this way. Main thing is that instance in SQL Server and types and uses. Instances means complete installation. Suppose you are going to install your server inside your PC or laptop. So instances is very important. Why I am talking this instances? Because suppose you are working in development environment. So how many types of maximum instances you can install in your laptop? So there are two types of instance. One is name instance, other one is default instance. So default means by default, automatically. When you are going to install a SQL server, so automatically the default option is left. But name instance means you are going to give some name according to your requirement. So name instances can be maximum 50 in a single machine. 50. Why this is required? Because in development environment there are different kinds of server. So from the different server you can get the data directly to connect. We go link server. In terminology in SQL server, link server is used. So that time you need to have some different kinds of named instances. So name instances can be 50, but default instances always one in your laptop or PC. So default instances always used in production environment, but name instance is always used in development in this way. So this is the main thing. If you have an idea, but you have Next point is file system architecture. File system means what? Need to understand here, please. Suppose you are going to create a database, UDF, user defined database. So that time automatically one file is created, primary, and other one is second. So what is primary files? Primary file means MDF and LDF, dot MDF and dot LDF. MDF means master data file, means suppose you have a table, employee table, and inside employee table you have lots of data. So that data stored will be stored as a file in MDF. So this is related to why I am talking this, because if anybody can ask you what is the difference between delete and truncate, so that time you say like delete always maintain log file. What is this? So this is file system, because log means changing something, alteration. Suppose you are going to change some data. Suppose you are getting salary 50,000, after 1 year you are getting 55. So you need to change in your database, salary database. So that time one file is created, log, and MDF means main data file, master data file. So that's why this is important. That's why I'm talking. So in this way, hierarchy is what you need to understand. Look at this. So in real time scenario, SQL server, first you need to have server. Suppose you got server. So after got servers, you need have some database, isn't it? So after database, you need to create some schema. So what is a schema? Schema is nothing. Schema is a security management. Security management means what? Schema is very important. Why I'm telling this security management? Suppose one building have a 10 flats. There are 3 floors. Suppose you want to go to second floor to room number 10. So just you need to access second floor room number 10. So in same way, in case of real time scenario, suppose is a HR schema or inside HR salary table. Suppose I want to only salary table. So first need to go to HR schema. So a schema means what? So database is a big container. Listen to me very carefully. Database is a big container. A schema is a small container. So first you need, suppose DBO. Whenever you select like select a star from DBO, something like that. So DBO means what? DBO is a schema, default schema, database object. So what is the what kind of things you need to say? Naming convention. Suppose you want to get data from the different servers. Suppose I told you name instances. Suppose server number 2, you want to get data, and from server 2 get data from server 1. So that time you need to have some functionality like link server, name instance. But how to get? So that time you need to have some naming conventions. First you need to put server name. After that you have some database. After that your schema name. After that your table name. So in this way you can extract data from different server also with the help of link server. That's why I told you schema, database schema. After that tables. See, so database server dot database dot schema dot tables from something like that. So in this way, this is naming convention. Next point is file groups. So file groups means what? I will show you next sessions practically what is these things. Don't worry about it. It's theoretical part, but don't worry about anything. I will show you everything. File groups, where is situated and what is the use of this. So file groups means nothing. File group means more than one file, nothing. Group of students means what? 10 people. So what is extent? Extent is a group of files. File is a single logical folder and subfolder, you can understand. But data page is and index page is very important. Need to very clear. What is the purpose of this? So query optimizations, indexing, and all like normalizations and all something like that's the rules. So that time you have knowledge about databases, index pages, how much databases, fill factor, pad index, all things need to understand. So that time you have the idea about databases, index pages. That's why I'm talking about this time in basic knowledge. So data page means data. Index page means index. Okay. So this is the architecture of your server. In this way is going to work. Look at this. For every file, you can understand architecture you need have. And this is your career option. I told you as a developer, you an OLTP database, MSBI developer, and all. So MSBI you can see OLAP and data warehouse, SDFC, STAP, hybrid transactional and asset process. Hybrid means mix up. An easy way you can understand. Transactional plus OLAP. Power BI, this one. Developer analyst, there are two things. Developer means you are going to create some MDX queries and all, M language. Data scientist means, so look at this. Some people think that need to move direct to data science. I think, in my opinion, don't need to do like this way. Suppose first of all you need to have some good knowledge in SQL Server. After that you can get the job definitely 200%. After that, if you have a good knowledge in SQL Server and some expression and some technical things, so they need to move MSBI. Otherwise, move to Power BI. After that, you don't need to do anything. Please, it's a total wasting of your time and money. Some people think that I will do Tableau, I will do click view, click sense, because companies always ask you, you know this thing. They can ask you every day, every time. So you don't need to do every languages. Yeah. Some people ask you, yeah, you have an idea about .NET front end application? No, sir. But I will learn. So this is very wrong. You need to have first SQL Server in good knowledge. I'm not talking about the basics thing. You need to have some idea about the architectures, database architecture, SQL Server architectures, indexing and query optimizations, all the things you need to have, like isolations, label, transactions. What is the architecture of indexings? What is the use of maintenance plan? How to use indexing management? All the things you need to have. After that, you will get the maximum salary. But you don't have many things. Don't go for this, please. So this is the whole scenario. It's an administrator, also DBA. So DBA have some basic SQL and TSQL knowledge. After that, monitoring of things that like jobs and all. So DBA is just like administrator. Okay. So different BI tools I talked. So that's it. If you have any doubts, any clarification, if you want to ask, you can proceed. The next class tomorrow we'll discuss later part whatever, but you need to understand whole things what I discussed, basic things. Not a basic, it's a backbone. With the help of these points, you can accelerate yourself here. Honestly, I'm speaking this. So please go ahead and ask some questions, queries. Most welcome.
Hi, Arun. This is Tanuj.
Okay, Tanush, tell me.
Yeah,
What are you
suppose
doing
I
currently?
have right now I am on a bench, but I have a total 4 years of experience in support
Okay,
projects.
that's great.
But that was on PLSQL. But now I want to switch in Power BI. So I have learned online from YouTube Power BI. So, but if I have a good knowledge in Power BI, I have done some uh, projects, but I have only basic knowledge of SQL. So can I switch in Power BI if I have only basic knowledge of SQL, but good in Power BI?
See, so tomorrow we'll discuss about this part. Don't worry about. But I think,
Okay.
in my opinion, you should have good knowledge in database first. And very interesting, dear. Very interesting. If you believe me, I will tell you very interesting.
Mhm.
Go ahead. And after that, you cannot. What I can use what this time. So you should have good knowledge in SQL Server. So your door will be always open, because BI tool can be replaced in the market.
Yes,